All right, so today's book club, we are talking about chapters 9, 10, and 11 of the book club. And I've got a few things that I've really hit me hard and really got me thinking about when it comes to our Amazon FBA business. I'd love to share that with you for the next 10 minutes or so, and we'll have some fun. So let me get right to it. For those of you who might not know, we're going through the book Start With Why. We've got one more week left in the book club. You can go to fulltimefba.com/book club to get information about it, to get on the list. We are about to decide what book is going to be next. And so if you want to, there's a poll on the Full-Time FBA Facebook page. You can find that, fulltimefba.com/Facebook. And there's a poll where we're kind of asking people what kind of books you want to read next. And so we're getting close to being done with Start With Why, and we will be starting soon on our next book. And so we want to get some feedback from you, so check that out. All right, so we are checking out chapters 9, 10, and 11, and let's see. I want to show you a picture of something because it talks about it in one of the future chapters. And all right, so you can see. So we're talking about starting with why. And we're like, starting with why in the middle, and then that leads out to your how, and then that leads towards your what, but you need to start with why. That's the target, the place where you need to start. But if you actually look at it and pretend like you're looking at this from the top, it could look like, a cone or a megaphone. And so, so think about that when you hear what I'm going to read. Now, how many of you like celery? If you like celery, let me know in the comments. I'd like to see if you like celery. I like celery with peanut butter. I like celery with ranch dressing. My wife makes this really incredible celery soup. But usually by itself, I'm okay with celery. It's okay by itself, but I usually enjoy it better when there's something else with it. So, there's a part in the book called the celery test. And so the celery test is something that I think we need to do when we are trying to decide what our focus is going to be on for our Amazon FBA business. What are we going to focus on next? And y'all know I love talking about focus, so this is going to be something that will hopefully help you. So I'm going to read part of this to you and we'll talk about it. Imagine you go to a dinner party and someone comes up to you and says, you know what you need in your organization? M&Ms. If you're not using M&Ms in your business, you're leaving money on the table. Someone else comes up and says, you know what you need? Rice milk. The data shows that all the people are buying rice milk these days. You should be selling rice milk in this economy. While you're standing over the punch bowl, another person comes up and says, Oreo cookies. That's where it's at. We made millions from implementing Oreo cookies in our organization. You got to do it. Someone else says celery. Celery is where it's at. You got to get in celery. You get all this great advice from all these highly accomplished people, some of them in the same industry as you, some are not. Some are more successful than you. Some of them have similar advice as others, and they've talked about their great success. So what do? So you go to the supermarket and you buy celery, rice, milk, Oreos, and M&Ms. You spend a lot of time at the supermarket walking around the aisles. You spend a lot of money because you buy everything. But you may or might not get the value from some of these products. There are no guarantees. Worse, if you're budget constrained, you have to whittle down your choices again, then which do you choose? Which one of those do you choose? One thing's for sure, when you're standing in line in the supermarket with all those items in your arms, your celery, your rice milk, Oreos, and M&Ms, nobody could see what you believe. What you do is supposed to serve as the tangible proof of what you believe, and you bought everything. But if you knew your why before you went into the supermarket, what if your why was about getting healthy? To always do things that are good for your body. To get the same good advice from all the people, the only difference is next time you go to the supermarket, you're only buying rice, milk, and celery. If your why is being healthy, it makes it obvious which one of those items you need to go to. It's not that the other advice isn't good advice, it's just not good for you. The advice doesn't fit. Filtering the decisions through your why, you spend less time at the supermarket, you spend less money, and there's an efficiency advantage also. But what if that person's why was a children's candy fundraiser. So if your why was a children's candy fundraiser and you're trying to raise money for your kid to go to camp or something, would celery and rice milk be a good fit for your children's candy fundraiser? No, because it does. So once the why is explained, it kind of helps the next decision that you're supposed to make. It kind of helps figure out what you need to do next. So when you're in your Amazon FBA business, trying to figure out, what do I need to do next? What do I need to do? I've heard about online arbitrage. I've heard about wholesale. I've heard about private label. I've heard about, just retail arbitrage. I've heard about outsourcing. There's all these things I want to do. But when you filter it through your why, then it kind of helps out a little bit. You know what? Like if your why is to experience more freedom, if your why is to have more time with your family, then maybe outsourcing is the next best step, because you spend some time, outsource some things that open up your time to be able to spend more time with your family and experience more freedom. If your why is, I'm tired of driving around, all of creation all day long trying to find items for resale, and I hate being away from my family, I hate all the mileage it's putting on my car, maybe that helps you understand, okay, maybe I need to look into online arbitrage instead. Maybe that should be what I do. Yeah, private label sounds really great, and outsourcing sounds really great too, but I need to just focus on one thing, do it well. And so when you filter it through your why, everything else becomes a lot easier. And so, I like you've heard me before, I follow the acronym FOCUS. Follow one course until successful. When you figure out what it is you're going to do, follow it all the way to the end. Do what you can to experience and learn as much as you can, implement it in your business, figure out what to do next, and when you become a master at that so much that you think you can probably even teach someone else to do it, then you can figure out what to do next. And so filter all the things through your why. And sometimes, it's like, well, there's two really good options that meet my why. Which one do I do? Well, if two of them are really good, just pick one of them. And if you need to, flip a coin. Just pick one, focus on it, and do that until you reach the next level. So that is my big tip for you today from Start With Why, the celery test. Whatever you decide to do, be sure you focus on that and filter it through the celery test so that you can always be sure to do the right thing and not be so scattered, not be all over the place, and not just have too many of your eggs and time and all this stuff in all these different baskets. Focus, and I really believe that will help you bring success. That's all we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up below, or if you have a comment or a question, you can do that below too. I try to respond to all comments and questions as soon as possible, so if you have any questions about what I said or want to follow up on something, or maybe even want to add something to the discussion, you can do that in the comment section below. If you want to make sure you don't miss out on any Amazon FBA videos, be sure you subscribe, and you can always find more about me going to fulltimefba.com. Subscribe to our blog. We got lots of freebies for you and lots of stuff to help you take your Amazon business to the next level. Well, I will see you later, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.